Miss Marble is the daughter of Miss Gail A. Marble and Mr. Dwight D. Williams. Mrs. Marble is being escorted by her uncle, Mr. Billy Adams, a 1975 graduate of Fort Valley State College. And Miss Fort Valley State University is Miss Irene Latrice Alexis, a senior marketing major from Savannah, Georgia. Miss Alexis is the daughter of Mr. Rose Weaver and attorney Orrin L. Alexis. Miss Alexis is being escorted by Mr. Wynn O. Davis, a senior technology management major from Warner Robins, Georgia. Fort Valley State University, your 2000-2001 homecoming court.
And we're back after halftime, after an exciting half displayed by both teams. The Golden Tigers with a 21-point edge at the half. Dennis, could you give us some of your thoughts of how the Golden Tigers played in the first half? What do you think we need to improve on, or what do you think are the key points for the second half to get out of here with a victory?
I don't think Tuskegee could have played a more perfect first half, considering the circumstances. Villanueva and the Fort Valley State offense, incredible. And they were able to move the football at will, but Tuskegee able to take advantage of the two Brian Villanueva miscues. That's why they have this big lead. The statistics, we looked at them, they're even. But the turnover column is not. And Tuskegee has been able to capitalize on all those turnovers. Aaron James, 11 of 13, 195 yards passing. Excellent.
That is exactly what we needed.
Look here, we have Commissioner Vowles here again this week.
Daryl Roberts, our marketing specialist.
Daryl Roberts, our marketing specialist. The SIAC marketing specialist, come on in. Right before the second half gets started, before Jason Lee kicks off. Doing fine. I'm Dennis Alexander. This is James Arrington.
Hey, doing fine.
Channel 6 in Tuskegee. Okay.
I'm going to allow you to interview him, Dennis. I'll step out and give him my set.
Okay. As Jason Lee kicks off, we're here. Obviously, this has pretty much been billed as the SIAC championship game.
Yes, it is.
As Steve Johnson makes the tackle and Fort Valley stops at the 21-yard line. What do you think about the turnout here today at Fort Valley State?
Absolutely phenomenal. This is exactly what the conference needs. And a lot more of our games as we begin the new marketing plan. We changed the logo and turning the entire conference around. I think what you'll find is that a lot more of our crowds are going to be just like this. The Pioneer Bowl, which is really going to be determined here today, I believe, is at the Georgia Dome, December 16th. We have a gospel concert with Keith Wonderboy Johnson and the Canton Spirituals, a comedy concert the Friday night before. So we're doing a lot of things new in the conference, and it's just amazing to see this many people out here having such a great time. This is a great football game.
We've obviously had two teams, I think, to leave the conference, Savannah State and Morris Brown. We brought Lane in. Are there any other schools looking to come in and join our conference this year?
Right now, the SIAC, NCAA has a moratorium, so no one can really join right now. We have maybe 5 to 7 prospective colleges that are interested in coming to the SIAC, and we'd love to have them. I mean, we're going to turn this conference into the best conference in the country, and that's what the goal is. And barring the NCAA, we want to be as big as the Big Ten and the SEC. So, and that's the goal. So, working hard at it.
Great play there by Frank Walker to break up the first down and 15 pass. Absolutely, we've been talking about it all year. The SIAC, we've seen nothing but excellent football games this year and excellent football teams. Even Kentucky State, with 0 losses in the conference, has a stellar team with a stellar running back. Do you plan to use such guys as Alvon Brown, who obviously is going to go to the next level from Kentucky State? You plan on using guys like that to promote the conference?
We're doing that right now. I mean, he's the #1 running back in the country right now, and this is not the first time that this conference has produced some stellar players. I mean, Shannon Sharp graduated from, at that time, Savannah State, which is an institution within the SIAC. So we produced a ton of people that are in the NFL and the NBA, and I think now we're going to be more visual. And now definitely will be a feature in what we're doing on our website and everything else, because we're now exposing this conference to more of a massive media.
He 3rd down and 5 there. The completion was to Tremble Pryor. As far as the basketball is concerned, will we be having any games maybe nationally televised? Are we going to move to that level?
Well, that is ultimately the goal. This year we're partnering with the Atlanta Hawks, and we're bringing the Morehouse-Clark game to the Phillips Arena. We're going to have a Valentine's Day midnight game. We're playing at 10 p.m. midnight, 10 p.m. on February 14th. And that, once again, something more to add to the conference. We're also doing our basketball tournament, which is all of the colleges that are going to go to the NCAA finals. We'll play in Birmingham, Alabama, February 26th, 27th through March 3rd. And we have a ton of events scheduled there. We have old school concert with Function and Brick.
Okay.
We're working on the comedy show and putting all the elements of that together right now. So that's going to be something, once again, that's very awesome for the SIAC and all of its member institutions.
Once again, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, Gennaro Roberts.
Gennaro Roberts, once again, is here with us, bringing you the broadcast here. Homecoming 2000 for Fort Valley State, 13:57 to go here, 3rd quarter. Fort Valley leading by 21 points. What do you think about the game on the field here today? Tuskegee seems to be trying to establish themselves as the dominant team of this conference. Are you happy overall with the performance of the teams?
I'm happy with the referees. I think what we're doing now, our referees are better than they were the last 3 years. We've gotten better. I think the commissioner's done a phenomenal job with going to the meetings and teaching the classes and being very active. He's showing up at the games. He's down on the field talking to the officials. Those are all the key things that you need to make a strong conference. Yes. I think Rick Comage is one of the most stellar coaches in the country. And I think this is just a battle, and I think you're going to see Rick come and do exactly what he needs to do to be a dominant force in this conference.
Obviously, it had been long rumored that most SIAC officials are from Georgia, the Atlanta area, and they cater to those teams. But it's nice to see that you all have addressed that situation, so maybe we can leave it alone. Interception here, number 4, Roosevelt Williams. And if he can get by that receiver, he's got room. He's brought down by number 16, the quarterback, Brian Villanueva. That's his second tackle. And if you're a Fort Valley State fan, you're not happy about the quarterback making that many tackles. But definitely, it was a concern of ours, the officiating. It was a concern of many people.
Right.
And it's nice to see that SIC is making those strides, making those moves.
I think when you have a new commissioner, he's from the Big Ten, he has new vision outside of what not just African-American conferences, but conferences across the country.
Right.
And I think Robert Bowles is just a visionary. And in his vision, I think that's now filtering down to not only the ADs and the coaches, but our officials. Robert is in their face. He's talking to them about how we officiate games. He's on hand, and he's disciplinary if necessary. So he's making sure that we have a really great conference here.
Aaron James on the quarterback keeper, picking up the first down to the Fort Valley State 30-yard line. And without a doubt, are there any plans as far as getting these teams to schedule maybe games against, let's say, a team from the MEAC? Well, they've already been playing games against teams from the MEAC. Maybe even some games against other independent teams or other Division I AA teams.
We're looking at doing some things with the Pioneer Bowl, maybe perhaps moving it to, and picking a different conference. We're going to add more classics and more bowl games.
Okay.
Because we have so much talent. It's so hard to harness it all in just one event. I think if you just watch our statistics, like look at this kid. I mean, we are just really phenomenal athletes.
That was number 81, Sam Brown, the freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I believe we have a flag, or maybe that was just some debris. It is a flag. Yeah, without a doubt, that was another question. As far as bowl games, I see the Pioneer Bowl is the Heritage Bowl still? We only have one bowl game, and my next question would have been, are there any plans, to have more January games?
I think you're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to become more competitive. One of the things that I've learned since being involved with the conference is that Division I or Division II, African Americans pretty much have our talent level span. You really can't separate our Division I, Division II. Last year, Morris Brown, which was in the conference, was a Division II school that beat Mississippi Valley State, which is a Division I school. We all recruit within the same area, so we really, Division I, Division II, I think I'd put Fort Valley and Tuskegee up against any of the Division I schools, and I think you'd see a victory.
We can walk around campus, and you hear our guys saying that they don't want to be playing the schools in the conference. They want FAM, and they want, other teams at Division I level.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Roberts.
Thank you. I enjoyed being here.
Anything else you want to tell everybody in Tuskegee?
Man, you guys need to come to this Pioneer Bowl. It's going to be a stellar event at the Georgia Dome. We have a gospel concert, a comedy show Friday night. If you check out the website at www.thesiac.com, you can read all the information about the Pioneer Bowl. Also look at www.pioneerbowl.com, and you'll learn even more about what this new conference is doing in the SIAC. Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, let's reset this game. 12 minutes and 10 seconds. Tuskegee football in Fort Valley territory on the Fort Valley 35-yard line. Second down and 13, James. It looks like they're really making some moves with this conference. Here's Matthew Hayes over the left side.
And he's down at actually it's a flag that comes in, Dennis, excuse me, but
receiver, Marquez Thomas.
It looks like he runs out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. And it's have to see what the call is.
I expect him to be holding on the wide receiver. Number 80, Marquez Thomas, got his hands in there a little bit, but you can expect this. And even though we have been talking about the officiating, and it seems that they're making some strides here. They said they actually have classes now for the officials, and they get in there in the classroom, and they're drilling them, and they're in their faces on the sideline and in the locker room. So that's definitely a good sign. But I think Marquez Thomas did get his hand in there a little bit too much, and now we're going to have a spot out 10 yards from the end of the run. So it's going to be second down and about 18 now for Tuskegee.
And once again, these penalties, Dennis, it looked like we had gotten a major opportunity, and we've moved a little backwards since capitalizing off of the interception. We'll see what the Golden Tigers are able to do with a second and about 16 yards to go. The backs are in the eye. Expect a play action.
Exactly what we have. He's looking in the corner for Kimball.
Kylan Kimball. And that was incomplete pass.
He was double covered, so you're not really going to get a pass interference call that often out of double coverage. But he was going for the fade route and trying to see if they could sneak one in there on him.
Well, Marcus Thomas was over open in the end zone, but at that time, I believe Zach had focused his energy over to Kylan Kimball, which is 3rd and 16 for the Golden Tigers, and they have the opportunity to make another play before deciding what they'll do.
I really think this 3rd down is critical as far as Tuskegee. They want to go for the jugular, so to speak, and really take it to Fort Valley. If they can convert on a long 3rd down like this, it may take the wind out of the sails of the Fort Valley defense. They pick up the blitz
Zach
real
has
fine.
time. He has plenty of time.
James had Kimball. Aaron James has a 1st down and more.
No, he doesn't have a 1st down.
Sorry. You're absolutely right.
He gets back. He gets
But I tell you what he's done.
maybe about 15, 10, 12 yards on that play. It's going to be a little short, but he does get good yardage on that to keep the drive alive. It's 4 and about 6 to go. So he picked
What he
up.
did was he put Jason Lee in field goal range, and that's what was important. We're going to have about a 45-yard field goal. Let's see where they spot it.
And this is huge, Dennis. This will, if the Golden Tigers put on 3 more points, it'll be 38-14, and that would be 24 points.
The snap is a little high. That kick is going to have the distance. Is it through the upright?
And it is.
Yes, it is.
It's very good. Tuskegee University 38, the Fort Valley State Wildcats 14. During the half, I had the opportunity to speak with one of Fort Valley State's cameramen, and he said that Tuskegee University was a very solid football team and that this was the first serious challenge that they have had all year. And he was, of course, he didn't call the game, you know, and say that Fort Valley was not going to win the game, but he was saying that we've given the Wildcats just about all they can take today. And we are hoping that his prediction is correct.
That shows on the scoreboard. There's no doubt about that. That was huge right there. I think sometimes I believe that's the only time you really want field goals. You want a kicker who can make those long ones. But when you get in that red zone, you want to get in the end zone. There's no doubt about that.
Dennis, if you're a Golden Tiger, right now, it doesn't really get much better than what's happening right now. You come into the #1 Fort Valley. I know it's still early, 10 minutes, 35 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, but you've come in here, homecoming, they have the crowd, they have the momentum, you know. They were undefeated in the SIAC, a game ahead of Tuskegee, and you pretty much silenced the crowd and taken the football team out of their game plan.
You've done it with turnovers.
Absolutely.
The big hit right there was made by number 30 for Tuskegee, Pierre Alexander, out of St. Louis Park, Minnesota, 5'9", 165 pounds. So,
you know, Dennis,
big hit made by Tuskegee.
Fort Valley has had 3 turnovers, and Tuskegee has been able to put up 18 points off of those turnovers.
You see that's almost the difference in the game.
You're absolutely correct.
A little bit off.
Maybe the defense can hold this Fort Valley State offense one more time, Dennis.
Well, they've only held them to 1 punt this game, but the turnovers have been the difference. Villanueva now. And he's sacked, and that ball's a fumble. That is not a pass, and very unfortunate that Ahmad Whitehead was not able to
hold on to that
get
ball.
on that football, but a big hit, and I said if they can get to Villanueva, which they have done now, this game would take a different turn, and it looks like Villanueva is a little rattled, and this is his last home game, homecoming here 2000.
Well, you know, Coach Kamaji had said that he wants to be able to just finish a team off, and I think this would be the excellent game to start finishing them off early. And if his team continues to execute the way they do, I will say that it will be a long day for Fort Valley. Second and long for the
show blitz, what they doing. McCall is on Villanueva. Pass across the middle, complete. to Cleo Stenyard, and it's going to be he's going to pick up about exactly what they lost, 10 yards.
And it's going to be third and short for the Fort Valley State Wildcats, 3rd and 3. And it's 9:23 left in the third quarter with your Golden Tigers 38, Fort Valley State Wildcats 14.
They line up here with those two running backs in the backfield with 3 wide receivers. So they're trying to protect Villanueva on this 3rd down and 13.
This is a big defensive play.
Blitz. It looks like they're going to back off. They do. 3-man rushing. They're going to go up top.
And the ball is tipped away.
Great coverage by number 4, Roosevelt Williams, with Nakia Lambright over there to help. And that's going to force Fort Valley to punt from right in front of their own end zone. Villanueva is the punter, so you always have to be wary of a fake.
And Villanueva, you know, his statistics, you know, I'm sure they are not phony statistics. I mean, he's an excellent athlete, and he's able to hurt you in so many different ways. But early on, he was more effective than he has been this second half. The short punt.
Well, that's a pretty good punt, actually.
It is after the bounce. It took a Fort Valley bounce. It's at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Golden Tigers. 8 minutes, 40 seconds left. 38-14, Dennis. The clock will be moving. We'll have the ball, and hopefully Tuskegee University will be able to capitalize. We've already a little more than what we average per game. And
James, this is one of the few times I'll actually allow you to start talking about 50 points.
Well, you know, I appreciate that, Dennis, but I want 60 today.
Hazel, hitting the ball hard.
Looks like he picks up maybe 1 or 2 yards on that play, Dennis.
What can you say? How much can you say about this Tuskegee University football team? And I'm actually ready to talk about it now. Even though the game is still in balance a little bit, looks like they're going to try to control the ball a little bit. They tried to run with Hazel there, but instead they're going to go 5 wide now. They've run the draw out of this play twice. Let's see what they do here. 2nd down and 10. James back to pass now. Excellent play by James.
Oh, and look at him. He's still on his feet, people.
Oh, look at this
First
guy.
down. He's still on his feet.
Even though we're going to have
quarterback.
even though we're going to have holding in the backfield, you have to understand what type of athlete Aaron James is, and it looks like he's really having his coming out party here today. But I think we're going to have holding. That play is going to be called back. But Aaron James really
eluded several Fort Valley players on that particular play, although it is going to be brought back by a penalty. You can't say enough about the Golden Tiger offense today. I mean, they've come out. The defense has stood up as usual, but the offense have come on to put on some points when Tuskegee needed it, and we went blow for blow with Fort Valley. When they were able to strike, we were able to answer back, and the turnovers have been the difference in the game, and you wonder if that has kind of killed Fort Valley's mode. They don't even seem to have the enthusiasm that they had initially, as if they've given up. It's still plenty football left.
I wouldn't say all that. You know, some people have different ways of showing certain emotions, but there's no doubt that this team has not given up at all.
Well, when one of your players comes off the field, and I know sometimes we do things out of anger, and he throws his helmet down and kicks it for a good 5 or 10 yards on your sideline, it lets you know that he's not really happy with the situation, and I can understand that, but sometimes signs of frustration can...
Unhappiness is one thing, but quitting is another. This team will not give up. They have the weapons to come back from 24 points down with 23 minutes to go in a football game. So there's no doubt that they're going to give their all. It's homecoming. It's their last home game. This is Brian Villanueva's last game played here in Fort Valley. I mean, that's 4 years of football, so you know he's not going to give up at all. Aaron needs to get rid of this football.
And he does. And the pass is incomplete, which will bring up a third and long for the Golden Tigers. It's actually 30 yards for a first down.
You can hear the coaches on the Fort Valley sideline say we've got a lot of time. We've got a lot of time. So they know what kind of offense they have. They really do.
We'd like to take the opportunity to mention our TCN crew. Jimmy Johnson, executive producer, Sheila Williams, the director, Jesse Harris on the camera, Dennis Alexander, our color commentator, and James Arrington, play-by-play.
We have 4 wide here. Fort Valley going to drop back. They're not going to blitz. This time Aaron's going to have to go down.
And I was glad to see that Aaron held on to the ball.
I wasn't.
Would have been an intentional grounding if he would have
I wanted him to pass it a lot earlier. It's a situation where the last couple of plays he's been able to escape, but as a quarterback, you want to see him get rid of that ball early instead of taking that big sack. So now it's 4th down and 40, and Jason Lee is in his own end zone. If you remember, we started this possession off way up here on the 40.
On the 40, exactly, Dennis. And this is absolutely the longest 4th down, position we've been in all season. We'll see how they respond.
Oh, wow.
And it's a beautiful spiral kick.
Wow.
He has Ken Schofield Jr. back, and he's hit at the 35.
You're talking about a 57-yard punt, almost a 60-yard punt there by Jason Lee. Multi-times has been Player of the Week on special teams in this conference, and he just showed why. Ever since his muffed kickoff that went out of bounds, he's been absolutely flawless with the long field goal and a great punt there and 2 other touchbacks on kickoff. So tremendous job. And it's listed as 53 yards by Jason Lee. Excellent job. Villanueva now. Fakes the handoff. Throws behind Kent Schofield. Schofield falls down, so they actually are going to take a 6-yard loss on the pass.
And it'll be a 2nd and long for the Wildcats of Fort Valley State. The Crimson Piper band over there trying to jam right quick.
Now for the blitz here. They drop off. Villanueva looking across the middle. This guy's about to take a hit. He does. Kelvin Powell, only a pickup of 5 yards on the play. And if there's one thing that has happened, I don't think it's that Villanueva's given up, but it's that the defensive staff of Tuskegee, I think they put something in, and they're showing some different coverages here, and they have confused Villanueva. They've got him taking the short stuff instead of the long completions that he was making in the first half.
And that's exactly what Tuskegee University needs to do. There is a correction. I said that reception was caught by Schofield, but actually it was by Cleo Stenyard, number 29 for Fort Valley. And this is going to bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Wildcats, and we'll see how they handle this situation with 5 minutes and 52 seconds in the third quarter.
There has been no whistle. You better be careful. This guy pushed off. Didn't get called for it.
Well, they're gonna call offsides against Tuskegee.
Damon Tolson. And actually, I don't think he wanted to jump. I think he was just trying to stunt to try to get one of the offensive linemen to flinch, but it wasn't effective, and he actually got into the neutral zone. So Villanueva's going to get another shot at this thing.
Offside, defense, 5-yard field, replay 3rd down.
Third down, call it 5.5 here.
And
5:41 will go 3rd quarter.
This is still a huge play, Dennis. Excuse me. But those penalties definitely have kept drives alive for him. And that's the first down for Fort Valley State at the 40.
81
7-yard line.
Number 81 Tremor Pryor caught that, excuse me. And Gregory Green, the defensive line coach as well as the special teams coach, was very unhappy about that. For Tuskegee, excuse me, special teams coach for Tuskegee.
It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 5 minutes and 24 seconds and counting.
Inside handoff, Stinyard. He picks up about 4 on the play. Nice pickup there.
It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats.
4:51 counting, 3rd quarter. Tuskegee trying to keep Villanueva off the board. Catch by Pryor.
He gets to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd and about 3 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats.
Still some Fort Valley faithful here who are trying to get their team into the game, and 3rd down and short here. They're on the way to getting on the board here.
And Dennis, you can rest assured that they're not going to leave until this game is really well decided.
They gave it to the fullback that time, and he's been successful on that 3rd and short. He even scored a touchdown on that same type of play.
And he gets the 1st down. It's 1st and 10 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats, and slowly but surely they are moving the ball. It's 3 minutes and 56 seconds and counting in the 3rd quarter with the Golden Tigers ahead 38-14.
Really been a time-consuming drive here. The fake to Stinyard, the fake to the other receiver,
and he could not hold on to the ball.
Conference receiver Ken Schoolfield lost his footing. He was wide open. They couldn't complete the play. It was a nice, well-designed play there. First they pretty much faked every play they've run this quarter. They faked the handoff to Stinyard, then they faked the swing pass to number 23, and tried to get the ball to Schoolfield, who was open here on this near side, and it was incomplete. Nice play. No, it was really a nice play to try on 1st down.
And he has another 1st down for the Wildcats.
Anthony Sneed right there. And
it's a flag on the plate, Dennis, and it is against Fort Valley. So we'll bring it back.
Looks like we're going to have some holding there.
It's going to be 2nd and...
Wow.
It's going to be 2nd and 20, almost 30 yards for the, well, about 25 yards actually for the Wildcats.
Teresius McCall offsides there. It's going to be a free play.
And he picks up about 15 yards on that, Dennis.
Gregory Green, once again, the defensive line coach tries to tell Coach Comedy or whoever he's talking to get a sub from McCall that he must be tired in order to make a mistake like that. You know, you're not used to seeing that by Teresius. 6'3", 250-pound senior out of Haynesville, Alabama, who's been absolutely wonderful this season for Tuskegee on that defensive line.
Well, Dennis, you can't. It's another penalty against.
It's not a penalty. I think they're going to take the yard instead of the play, and that's interesting. It's going to be, that'll make it first down instead of second down. So I'm not sure I agree with that.
Well, it's second and 20 actually.
First down and 20 now. No, it is second down because the first play was the fake. Okay, so now it's second down. Well, that's. I think I see their logic.
Right.
Their third down and long and second down and long, and they're going to blitz Ricky Reed.
And he maybe picks up a yard, Dennis.
Pick up a 3 on the play. Big third down and about, call it 17.
You know, once again, if we look at Villanueva's pass pattern, he's picked on Frank Walker Frank Walker and Roosevelt Williams. He's had, I guess, some.
It's actually gone on Williams more than Walker.
More than Walker today, right? He sure has.
Really, he's going to number 21 anytime he can. This time he's going to.
And
I think you wanted him to go at Walker, and he did. Frank Walker actually stepped off the plate too early, went for the interception, jumped up, couldn't get it, left his man wide open.
And that was a huge play for Fort Valley State. And that brings them in the red zone. It's first and 10 from the 16-yard line.
They've had the ball nearly over 7 minutes now. They're going to get some new linemen in there. Eric Armstrong and HK. Stanton and Reed go get off the field. 3 linemen here. 10-yard over the right side.
And he gets down to about the 8-yard line. It'll be second and 8 for the, excuse me, he gets, he picks up about 7 yards on that. I'm sorry, it'll be second and 3 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats. And with 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the
right now with
third quarter,
defensive line is tired.
Well, they've been out on the field for a long time, and they've had a successful drive holding on to the ball.
Accordingly.
And Dennis, Tuskegee University has definitely had some success here in Wildcat Stadium. I know we're 15 minutes, well, actually 16 minutes and 38 seconds from the end of the game. And no one better than you and I would want the Golden Tigers to, you know, wrap this up and do it in grand old fashion. But the keys to the Golden Tigers preserving this quote-unquote victory are
preserving the victory.
I'm saying
ball control.
Right.
And this is ideal. This is a great offense. Let's not make any mistakes. Fort Valley State has a great offense, and they know how to move the football. And that's exactly what they're doing right now. But the ideal scenario is to make them take too much time doing it. And that's exactly what we have here. They've had the ball for about, let's say, 9 minutes now. They haven't been able to get the quick strike, and that's what you want to do. You want to keep them out there on the field a long time, and it looks like they're going to take out almost this whole third quarter. So depending on what happens here, they're going to have a long way to go in that fourth quarter.
It should be an interesting one, Dennis.
Look out for Kelvin Powell on this play right here, on this series.
Number 29, Stenyard.
Nice.
And he was, he gets the first down.
Yes, he did. Well, no, he didn't. Was that second down and 3, or was that? Yes, it was. Or was that second down and goal?
I thought it was second and goal. No, it's actually it's first and goal now. He did get the first down. It's first and goal for the Wildcats from the 2-yard line. No, not the 2-yard line, from the 5-yard line. 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Fort Valley threatening. And there's Stinyard again, and he is stopped shy of the end zone. He picks up maybe
really hit hard by number 94, Terrell Smith, along with Ahmad Whitehead, Kelvin Powell.
Yes, he was, and Kelvin Powell is psyching up his defense. He's slapping his hands, telling them, come on, fellas, we have 2 more plays to keep them out the end zone, make them do something that they're unfamiliar with doing, as you had pointed out earlier, is kicking field goals.
Well, definitely 3 plays, because they will not kick a field goal in this situation.
Yeah, I'm sure they won't either. It's 50 seconds and counting in the third quarter.
Wishbone formation now. Pitch to Stinyard. They got 2 blockers out in front of him.
And
he's short.
His helmet, he gets hit so hard by number 9,
Tyrone Jones,
that he knocks his helmet off, ladies and gentlemen. You'll definitely see that on highlights.
Still 2 more hits to make, though. 2 big more hits to make here, third down.
It's 23 seconds and counting, Dennis, and as the third quarter is about to come to a close, it's relatively close with the, they'll just let the clock stop and reset the play clock. Well, they're
going to go for it here. They don't want to walk all the way over there. They fake the handoff. It's going to go to Jerson.
And he has it. And with 5 seconds left in the third period, it's your new score, Fort Valley State 20, Tuskegee University 38. And we have right now an 18-point edge, Dennis, and that's huge. 10, 15 minutes of football left in the fourth quarter.
You see what it is, James? It's these little scores right here that you don't think about until you're up, until the game gets close. Let's say there's 2 minutes left and the game we're only up by 3. Then you realize how big that touchdown just was. So there's never any time during any game that you want to give up points. But obviously Tuskegee did not want Fort Valley to control the ball the way they did. Now, even saying that, Fort Valley took a long time to score those points right there. And now it's very important for Tuskegee, even if they don't score, it's very important for them to, number 1, protect the football, and number 2, manage that clock. And I think they'll be able to do that right now.
I hope so, Dennis, and I'm sure that the Golden Tigers will. The PAT was good with your new score, Tuskegee University 38, Fort Valley State University 21. Now, this 15 minutes of play, this is what we've been talking about, Dennis. You've said all season long, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. The Golden Tigers have a golden opportunity to beat the man, so to speak, today in Fort Valley for homecoming, and prove to the world, as well as other schools that have not given us the respect that we feel we deserve, that we are a top 10 team.
And this season was never about earning respect. It was all about redemption. And I told her redemption comes right there on that field right there. And that field that probably needs a little watering. If you look there, a little brown turf there. But here's Roe Williams.
He slowed down, and there's a flag coming in.
Probably will be a face mask. We'll see.
Well, he got he only makes it up until the 14-yard line.
It's not ideal at all.
And it looks like it's the end of the third quarter, and that's exactly what we did not need.
Disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. I'll mark my words.
Well, hopefully the Golden Tigers will be able to preserve the score, keep a 17-point margin. And let me take the time out to mention our sponsors of today's game. We have Major Hall and Architect and Associates, 111B South Main Street. Dr. H.M. Vance Sr. and Jr. Family and Staff, 1904 Hagan Street. Stat Ambulance Services, North Main Street, Tuskegee. Good Luck from the Tuskegee Music Network, the Tuskegee Shoe Repair, South Main Street, Tuskegee. Jimmy Johnson, Jesse Harris, Sheila Williams, Dennis Alexander, and James Arrington, wishing the Golden Tigers much success this season. Born United Methodist Church Men's Breakfast, 2701 West Montgomery Road, Tuskegee. Joachim Smith, founder of Scoring for Life, 306 North Main Street, Tuskegee. Attorney Walter McGowan and family, proud sponsors of the TU Golden Tigers. The Furniture Place, 101 South Main Street. Little Treasures Daycare Center, Stat Ambulance Service, Sheriff David M. Warren, Alabama Exchange Bank, The Friendly Bank, Bennett T. Auto Sales and Flea Market, Victor Chevy Oldsmobile, and The Right Spot.
As I was saying before, thank you for giving us the sponsors, James. It's a recipe for disaster. And blocking the back now has Tuskegee backed up on their own 7-yard line. So let's see if they can come out and run this football and control the clock.
And he picks up about 5 yards on that play, although it'll be 2nd and 6 or 2nd and 7 for the Golden Tigers.
Once again, the lead back this week is John Brown and not Chad Williams, leading the way for Hazel. And Hazel's been in there a while. We have to check on the health of Sevron Zachary.
Matthew Hayes, oh, he fumbles, but number 74 was able to get there and pick the ball up. We've still not been able to find out who's number 74 for Tuskegee today.
I think it may be number 75, Derek Warford, a freshman out of Macon, Georgia. I don't see number 75 anywhere on the field.
And that was a 4-yard pickup, although it appeared that it was going to be very costly. It's 3rd and 4 for the Golden Tigers as they try to keep this drive alive. 13 minutes, 41 seconds.
I'm sorry, Zachary is now back in the game on this big 3rd down play. The linemen line up in pass formation. The inside handoff. Zachary's not able to get the 1st down. So like I said before, James, you better be careful. I say it all the time, but I mean it now. I really mean it now. Listen to this crowd. Listen. Not what you want at all.
Well, this is almost reminiscent of last year's game in Cleve-L. Abbott Alumni Stadium, although we don't have up as many. We have more points up this particular time. But if you recall, this is what happened. Tuskegee got stymied somewhat in the 2nd half, unable to capitalize and take advantage of a good situation. It's 4th and short, and Jason Lee is out on the field to kick a punt for the Golden Tigers. Number 54 and number 21.
I doubt number 54 will be back there.
No, number 21 actually is the one, Kent Schofield.
Injured player is number 97 for Fort Valley. That's Antoine Chance, 6'4", 270-pound sophomore out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So another chance here. We'll see if Jason Lee can get another good punt off. The field position game is being won by Fort Valley. And whenever you start losing that field position game, points can come up in a hurry. It's getting worse, James. It's getting worse.
Yes, it is. It's a flag on the play. This should be a false start. It'll bring up 4th and be 4th and about maybe 8 for the 1st down, although we know that we're punting, so.
Tuskegee only able to hold the football for a minute and 47 seconds on that drive, and that's not at all what they want. Now Fort Valley will have excellent field position if Jason Lee can get this punt off. That's if he can get the punt off. If they are coming. It's a high punt, but not very far, not very deep. Gonna take a Tuskegee bounce.
It's a 40, I'll give him credit for about a 43, 44-yard punt. Ordinarily, that would be an excellent punt, but considering he was punting from his own end zone. And Fort Valley State Wildcats start off in Golden Tiger territory at the 46-yard line. Well, not at the 46, excuse me, the 44-yard line. And that was an incomplete pass.
And what we had was it was thrown behind the tight end, number 9. That's Carlos Malvavon, 6'4", senior. Throw had to be hurried by Villanueva because he was pressured by Terrell Smith and Ahmad Whitehead. PA announcer sounds like he's on the phone or something. Very hard to understand what he's saying. Villanueva rolls out to his right now.
And he's shy of the first down, about maybe a yard. It'll bring up 3rd and 1. And Fort Valley's definitely have some success, and they are not using much clock. 12 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game with Tuskegee University 38, Fort Valley 21. It is homecoming in Fort Valley, Georgia.
10-yard.
And it's first down for the Wildcats at be at the 32-yard line, 1st and 10.
Run was made by Sinyard, and once again, that is the all-purpose, all-everything running back for Fort Valley. And he's been very steady this game, and they have gotten their yards this game. You can't take away that from them. Here comes Ricky Reed again. He's picked up. Villanueva goes the opposite way. Caught by Schoolfield, and he's brought down. Excellent tackle there by number 28.
It was, and they gave him tremendous forward progress. He's actually, that was a 5-yard pickup. It's 2nd and 5 for the Wildcats.
5 yards on the play. It's going to be a second down at about 5.
If you wear red and gold, that clock can't run fast enough.
You're absolutely right, Dennis. It's 11:35
Here comes Tyrone Jones.
He throws that ball away, and he was 1 second away from being sacked.
Didn't go down, though. It's just a hurry there by Teresius McCall and Tyrone Jones. Pass was intended for the fullback, so 11:33 to go here, and we got another 3rd down.
This was a huge play for the Golden Tiger defense, Dennis. If they are able to stop Fort Valley, I do know that this is 4-down territory for the Wildcats. However, it would give them a reason to think hard.
Villanueva will not flinch. Understand that. Go on the Schoolfield right here. Well, yes, it does.
That ball hit the ground. That should have been incomplete. He calls it a complete pass.
See, what you have with the no-huddle, hurry-up offense is you got this Tuskegee defense in disarray here.
And it's 4th and 1 for...
But now they go to the huddle on this 3rd down play, and we'll probably go to the fullback again.
So he did not get the...
Run.
Oh, well, they're measuring, actually.
He's going to be short by about a football. Probably half a football. 11-12 to go.
And what a play it would be if the Tuskegee University defense holds Fort Valley.
Fort Valley attempts more 4th downs than any other team in the conference. They cash in on about 50% of them. A lot of that is not having much confidence in the kicker. but also because they can get it with that big body right there, Villanueva. It looks like he's going to have that first down.
Dennis, it's going to be awful close. It is really going to be awful close. Well, they gave it to him. It is a first down for the Wildcats.
There was no doubt about that. They only needed half a football, and they got that and some more. Clock stops on a first down to move the chain. Fort Valley definitely needs 3 scores to take the lead in this game. 2 of them have to be touchdowns. Here comes Teresius McCall. Villanueva pumps. That's going to be incomplete.
Incomplete pass. Receiver is covered by Frank Walker.
The receiver on that play was 21 Skip. Oh, excuse me. That's 81 Samuel Pryor again.
You know, it's 10:50 left in the game, and it seems like the first 45 minutes went by so fast. And
Number 6 is in the game for one of the first times for Fort Valley. That's Adrian Martin. He's in there to block. Villanueva.
and he throws it away, which is 3rd and 10 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats. And they
because Fort Valley is passing the football, time is not running off the clock. When they make a mistake, it's an incomplete pass, but they stop the clock, and they're able to set up again. So.
And that's how I see they've stayed close with a lot of teams.
Here's Schofield.
And it's incomplete. And that's 4th and 10 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats.
Absolutely right. If the pass went a little better, Schofield did have Frank Walker beat that time, but it would have had to been a perfect pass, being that it was in the corner of the end zone. That's what I talked about earlier, is that Fort Valley State in the red zone or down deep in this territory like this, they run out of field. So they're going to have to see if they can do something else, maybe with crossing routes or maybe going to something underneath. But it's 4th down and 10 here, so they have to get 10 yards or it's Tuskegee football.
This is absolutely a huge play for the Golden Tiger defense. If they are able to capitalize and slow this Fort Valley attack down.
They're going.
Oh, and it's incomplete. It's turnover on downs as the Golden Tigers will receive the ball on the 22-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for Tuskegee.
Number 23 was Anthony Sneed, and he was open, but he just dropped the football.
After the ball turnover on downs, and Tuskegee will take over 1st and 10. Number one, they're on 21-yard line.
With 10:37 to go, Tuskegee here with another chance. I'll say it again. They have to control the football. They've got number 83, Lester Johnson, as the single back in the backfield. I don't know what this is about. Let's see. Definitely the first time we've seen this formation this season. They actually give to Johnson. Over that right side, Johnson.
And he picks up
7 yards on the carry, so 8 yards, excuse me. So Lester Johnson with a carry out of that backfield. I don't know what's going on with the running back. I don't know what the running back situation is. Sevron Zachary, I felt, must have been hurt as he was not in the game. He's still on the sideline. Hazel made the fumble, so I think that's why he's not in the game. The 3rd-string running back, this situation may be Lester Johnson. Now, we've seen Dalen Powell and Travis McNichols in the past, but obviously Lester Johnson is in there now, and he's still in the game. Lester Johnson, number 83, is a 5'7", 168-pound sophomore out of Miami, Florida. And James will use every second of that play clock. It goes Johnson again. He's got a first down for Tuskegee. So what we have here is someone carrying the ball for the first time in hostile territory and doing a pretty good job.
Absolutely, Dennis. And one thing that is definitely good for the Golden Tigers, that the clock is moving and the longer we have the ball and the more we can execute and put yards up, whether it be 2-3 here, as long as we continue to get the first downs, our Golden Tiger family is looking really good at this point. It's 9 minutes and 34 seconds left in the game. 17-point edge over the defending SIAC champions, and we're just asking for our piece of the pie back.
Oh, he holds the ball himself. A bootleg there by James.
And he picks up maybe 1 or 2 on that play. Be second and about 8 for him, or second and 9.
Johnson
he hands back off to number 83. Oh my goodness, and he gets up about maybe 4 yards. It'll be a 3rd and 3 for the Golden Tigers. And that was Lester Johnson out of Miami, Florida. That was number 83, was it not?
Clock running, 8:14 to go here.
Well, Dennis, you have to be feeling pretty good right about now because the chances of slimming down.
No, not at all. You're 1 play away from only being up by 10.
There's a flag on that play.
Yes, Tennessee, that's either a false start or an offsides penalty.
It is a false start against Tuskegee with a 5-yard penalty, which will be 3rd and 8 now.
See why I don't feel good, James?
Still 17-point edge, and I like the Golden Tigers. I know you do also. And I think we've almost accomplished what we set out for.
Go 5 wide, excuse me. Aaron James, the lone back in the backfield. Maybe a draw play. Look out for that. No, it's not. He's got time. He looks over here to Gary Curry.
And was unable to get anything going. It was an incomplete pass to bring out Jason Lee to punt the ball off for the Golden Tigers with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the quarter. Tuskegee University holding a 17-point edge over Fort Valley, 38-21.
I'd rather see Aaron throw the ball away in that situation and possibly have it intercepted and returned for a touchdown. So definitely wasn't the worst case scenario right there. There's a nice kick. Schoolfield's going to have a chance to return it. He breaks 2 tackles, breaks a 3rd tackle. He's around this left side. He's got 2 men to beat.
And Sevron Zachary tackles him for Tuskegee. Or gets him on his way down, I should say, as they have an excellent return to the 34-yard line.
Number 54 and number 19, Darrell Willis
and Jeffrey Stanton.
Stanton must have collided on this play. Stanton holding his hand, and obviously Willis having his ankle attended to. Hopefully he'll be able to get up from that collision.
It's 7 minutes and 15 seconds left in this game. Tuskegee University 38, Fort Valley State University 21.
See, this is why I said that you can go ahead and go after 50 this time, because in a situation like this, when you're facing an offense as potent as Fort Valley, a team as desperate as Fort Valley is right now, that's when you need to put those points on the board. Tuskegee has been unable to do so, but they have got the clock all the way down to 7:15. Fort Valley will come out passing here, so they're looking to score quick. Hopefully Darrell Willis will be okay.
sure hope so. See what Villanueva does.
He's going to go to Schoolfield.
Oh, it was almost picked off.
Tuskegee had it read perfect. They knew he was either going to Schoolfield or he was going to go to that dump receiver, Anthony Sneed.
Well, Willie Washington was, he was ready for that one. Definitely was. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10 for the Fort Valley State Wildcats. It's 7 minutes, 9 seconds, and as you were saying earlier, Dennis, they are not using much time off of the clock. That's going to be an offside. They did a great job of drawing Ahmad off offsides, if that is against him.
Yeah,
and it's
offside.
2nd and 5 for the...
I said before that on the offside penalty, the play was not blown dead, but it is blown dead if there's any contact between the defensive lineman and the offensive lineman, and that was the case right there with Ahmad Whitehead in the center for Fort Valley. Here's a pitch to Stenyard, left side. He's wrapped up by Kelvin Powell, just short of a first down.
And I believe it's very close, Dennis, but I'm sure. And he does get the first down.
Did the clock run on that play?
It was 7:10 on the. It was 7:10, so it did tick down 9 seconds.
Oh, okay, because you know.
I'm watching you, Dennis. Every minute, every second counts.
I thought it was 7:01.
No, it was 7:10. Oh,
Ball
fumble.
by Villanueva. He does pick it up. Throws it away. Wait a minute.
That should be intentional grounding.
Wait a minute. He wasn't even out of the pocket. Well, obviously they got away with one there, but we have, like I said before, gotten away with a couple earlier, so I won't complain too much. And I think he did overthrow his fullback, number 42.
And flags everywhere, and penalties have just killed Tuskegee.
And if you can remember, they went through this a couple of weeks ago. Was that against, was it against Johnson C. Smith?
No, it wasn't Johnson C. Smith. They went through this a few weeks ago against Albany State. They went through this a few weeks ago. They went through this last week with Morehouse.
No, but last week it was all kinds of penalties. Remember, they had a problem with false starts and offsides that 1 week. I believe it was Johnson C. Smith where they just couldn't get the idea down to watch the ball and stop trying to get that early jump on the offense. Yeah. I mean, there's been penalties all year long, but especially these offsides penalties late in the game. Wow, this may be delay a game.
We sure hope it is if you're a Golden Tiger. And that's going to be against Fort Valley State, is it not? Oh, that wasn't a penalty. I don't know what they're doing right now.
The referee will tell us right now.
Please reset the clock to 6:51.
Oh, wait a minute. He can talk.
And it's going to be 2nd and 6 for Fort Valley, giving them 5 more seconds added on the clock.
Okay, they're saying the play clock hadn't been
reset.
Yeah.
Right.
Please reset the clock to 6:51.
I will tell you this right here. The fish sure does smell good over here in Fort Valley, Georgia. Very nice homecoming crowd. Had people sitting in both end zones. From what I understand, this was a record crowd for Fort Valley in their homecoming.
I just like to thank Fort Valley for inviting us out to homecoming. We really enjoyed it. You know, homecoming's been wonderful for us, and hopefully they'll invite us again. It's the second homecoming they've invited us to in 3 years, and we've just come here and had a ball.
Absolutely. You know, they don't call us homecoming killers for nothing. You know, we also played Fort Valley several years ago for one of our homecomings, and I guess maybe they were returning the favor.
Well, you would have thought they'd have learned their lesson 2 years ago, but they must like having us here. They like having Tuskegee for homecoming, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, you know, it's when you mention Tuskegee's name as a money maker, everybody wants to play us. We bring a nice crowd with us each and every time we play Fort Valley in Fort Valley, and you know, like you said earlier, they're going to come out because it's homecoming, but it just makes it that much more special that we bring a nice crowd with us.
Pitch to Sinyard now.
And he picks up maybe 3 yards on that carry.
And Fort Valley's just taking too much time right now.
Yes, they are.
I'm about to say the fat lady is singing, but
well,
I'm not ready
she's
yet.
been humming since the second quarter, Dennis. You didn't want to acknowledge her presence, but, you know, she is definitely calling, and she is singing Tuskegee's song. 6:23 and counting left in the game. And here's Sinyard in the end zone, touchdown Fort Valley. That's exactly what we didn't want to do. It's now 27-38, and watch out Tuskegee. You sure onside kick is coming, so right now our special teams will get tested once again.
I will say that the fat lady is not in the building.
She's in the house. We just hadn't identified her.
Well, we just had to figure out if she's wearing red and gold or blue and gold.
That's
we
it.
figure out.
We know she has on gold. We just don't know what gold right now.
And they're going to go for 2 here.
Well, that would be smart because that would mean that they could tie the game on an 8-point conversion, on a 2-point conversion rather. Now Dennis is real huge because it's only an 8-point game.
What?
Well, no, it's not. It's a 9-point game, so they still need two scores to.
Much crazier things have happened.
The Golden Tigers. I'm sure the Fort Valley State crew would love to.
Put it this way, James.
See,
if you were a Tuskegee fan and you were down 10 points with 6 minutes to go, would you be giving up?
Of course not.
Well, that's exactly what we have here. We have a desperate Fort Valley team, and they know that with 6 minutes to go and down by 9 points, that this game is far from over.
Yes, it is. But I still say my girl is in the house somewhere, and she is tuning up to sing Tuskegee's alma mater.
They may not even attempt it on
You know, I'm gonna take Tuskegee University's band's lead. They're playing harmony over there, and that's exactly what we want. And it's Tuskegee's ball, and it's a flag thrown on that play. That's beautiful, Dennis.
Well, the flag is because the ball went out of bounds. Tuskegee, I'm sure, will take the ball here at the Fort Valley 47-yard line.
just wanted to say how well the Marching Crimson Pipers look today, as well as last week. Didn't really have the opportunity to say much about them.
Once again, number 83, Lester Johnson, is in the backfield, and this is the first time, I say it again, that he's been able to be used as a running back this season. He gets the carry.
He picks up about 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Golden Tigers.
Let everybody know, Tuskegee has 3 timeouts remaining. I'm sure they won't be using any of them, but Fort Valley has 2 timeouts remaining in this game. There's Johnson at left side again.
Number 83 picks up about 3 yards. Lester Johnson's come in and done a good job. Another Florida native.
It's a huge 3rd down here, James. A very huge 3rd down.
Yes, it is. It's 3rd and 4 for the Golden Tigers.
Fort Valley has used one of their timeouts here.
It's going to be 3rd and about 5.
Well, I did predict last night that the game would come down to a last-second field goal, a last-second touchdown, a last-second knockdown of a touchdown, a last-second block of a field goal. And this game is really shaping up for one of those fantastic finishes, in case you all thought that this was not going to be a bloodbath, because it always is. And Fort Valley has hung in there. They've stayed the course. Well, you know, now they're in perfect position to get right back into this ball game.
Well, you can't say enough about both of these schools, first of all. And when you talk about the series between them, it's deadlocked at 18-2. You know, this is the 39th meeting, and they've been decided with each one of them really having a tied series. So it's like the record is 0-0. And whomever not only will take the lead in the SIAC, but will also win the series, will have a one-game advantage in the series.
Single back is Lester Johnson. He lines up very deep, so expect Aaron James to pass here.
And he fakes the pass.
This was a bootleg. This was a bootleg.
And he gets the first down.
Depending on where the spot is, James. That was a bootleg all the way. If you looked at the receivers were looking to block and not catch the football. Oh. And the referee says first down Tuskegee. Once again, Aaron James has answered the call.
And that could be a big play for Fort Valley at this particular time. If you're Tuskegee, you want to waste as much time as possible. The clock should be moving, and I would hold it to the absolute last possible second, which I'm sure they will.
You hear the coaches up here say they don't want any penalties, so it looks like they're going to relax here. Look for this to be either an inside handoff to John Brown or a play to Lester Johnson over that left side. It is Johnson. It is the left side.
Well, Dennis, I know it's still a lot of time left. But don't you see a little red on that lady? Just a little bit,
no,
little crimson.
The coaches are still up here, and everybody knows that Tuskegee's coaches bail out of the press box as soon as they feel they have the game won. So if they're up here, there must be a good reason.
And if you look at the coaches, only one of them has come out of his headset.
Well, see, they alternate headsets depending on who's on offense and who's on defense. But here's Johnson over this right side now.
And he picks up maybe 2 yards.
And we got a late flag. And these referees have got to learn. You can't just throw those flags anywhere. Maybe a face mat, it's a hold. Wow.
Oh, and it's against Tuskegee. That's huge.
Now, what was that again about some fat lady thing?
She's still singing, Dennis. If I just don't see it, I mean, Both squads played an excellent game.
You don't want to see it. But if you've been around this game, and I know you have, and you've been watching it as long as you have, you've seen it all.
It's just the Golden Tiger in me is one of those that I just can't, you know, I just can't see Fort Valley doing it.
A 9-point lead with 4 minutes to go is nothing, James, nothing. One play, and it could be a 1-point lead. You know that.
Absolutely, Dennis. But even with that, Tuskegee has the ball. The clock is still moving. 14 seconds.
One play could be a fumble. It could be an interception. There's no telling. This game of football, you never know what it has to offer. They're in pass block formation now, unless it's a draw play to Hazel. And that's what it is. And now they'll probably use one of those timeouts. And no, they don't. Fourth down here. Little indecision on Coach Comedy's part. And Jason Lee will come out, and add to that play, that one play could also be a block punt or a punt return, so you got to be careful.
And Tuskegee University will probably more than likely call a timeout with 1 second on the, and they do.
Well, they probably take the
no, they took the delay of game. They're going to punt and try to get it within the 5-yard line. Maybe get a good pooch kick. It's 2 minutes and 36 seconds left in the game with Tuskegee University holding a 9-point lead over the favored Fort Valley State Wildcats.
There were only 10 people on the, if they had punted it, there would have only been 10 people on the field. Nate Jones runs on, 2:36 to go here. Clock stopped because of the penalty, I presume. A layoff, they're in punt block formation, a low punt.
And that's exactly what you wanted if you were Tuskegee. It's on the 12-yard line, 2 minutes, 26 seconds left, fourth quarter. Fort Valley State has 88 yards to drive for a touchdown, and then they have to pray for a miracle with a onside kick if they're successful. This one, my friend, is almost over. I know we have two different positions on this, and that's good, but I can't see it any other way.
You've seen enough football, James. I'm telling you, this game here, especially with an offense as potent as Fort Valley's offense is, and I think, once again, they show blitz, but they back off. Villanueva throws that away. Completed to number, I was going to say number 29, Antonio Knight, but Antonio Knight, who's a grad assistant, did catch that ball on the sideline. T. Knight put in just great years here at Tuskegee, 4 great years. He was playing linebacker as well as special teams. He's a special teams holder. He even punted at one time for Tuskegee. So we all remember the great play of Antonio Knight.
I was about to say we had an ineligible receiver.
Only rushing 3 men. Villanueva complete here to 10 yards. That's exactly what you want. Prevent defense serves two purposes. One is not get beat deep, and the other one is to keep them in bounds. So the prevent defense is working pretty good here for Tuskegee.
And it's 2 minutes and 14 seconds and counting. And the Fort Valley faithful have not left the stadium yet.
Wow, what a catch there by Trammell Pryor. This guy's a tremendous athlete. And if there's any player besides Villanueva from this team who I would think that could do something on the next level, it would definitely be number 81, Trammell Pryor. The clock stops there.
It does. 1 minute, 37 seconds left in the game, and you are absolutely right, Dennis. Anything can happen. They've moved the ball. They've had great patience. Their center is huge, number 72.
What's his name?
Jalal Hankins.
Going for the big hit. Going for the big hit, number 28, Willie Washington. Didn't wrap him up. And what did I just say, James? You've got, on the prevent defense, you've got to keep him in front of you and keep him from going out of bounds. He didn't wrap him up, didn't make the tackle. Fort Valley gets out of bounds, and they stop the clock. Down 9.
It's a minute and a half left, and we have a true showdown, a thriller going on in Fort Valley, Georgia, as the Tuskegee University Golden Tigers have a 9-point edge currently, 38-29, 1 minute.